All right. Hi, Brenda. My name is Jessie.
Hi, Jessie.
How are you?
No, I'm just feeling kind of overwhelmed and kind of like a failure as a mom.
Oh, and that's a difficult situation. What makes you feel that way?
Well, I have two sons, and they're 12 and they're 13, and they live with me full time, and they visit with their dad 3 weekends a month, and they just think I'm the worst because I won't let them have a cell phone. And kids these days have cell phones, and so they think I'm like the worst mom ever, and so I let them activate my old phones with Wi-Fi after hours, and now they have an Instagram and a Snapchat, and I just really feel like I'm just losing control of them.
Yeah, that's very difficult. What happens when you feel like you're losing control? Is it when they're on at dinner time, or what situations make you feel that way?
Just like when I overhear the way that they talk with each other, and the music they listen to, and just the influences that they're picking up from it, it just disappoints me, and I just have regret for letting them, have that access to the internet. And they mostly spend their time on YouTube and Instagram and Snapchat.
So it sounds like you're trying to balance making them happy, but doing what you feel like is right as a parent, not letting that seep in too much to their lives and influence them.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a lot of responsibility for young adolescent children, and it also puts an extra burden on me as a parent, because I feel like I have to check the history and see who they're talking to, and there's a time element to it for me as well, and without making them feel like I don't trust them, just building that relationship with them as they get older. And being boys, it's really important to them that I trust them. And so just finding the balance between what's appropriate for their age, and then not shielding them from society, but just how to have conversations with them and keep it at their level. It's just hard with outside influences.
Yeah, that's understandable. Social media plays a really big role in everybody's life these days. What would be the best case scenario for you? What do you see that would make you happy? Like, would you want them to have no phone access, or preferably no internet access? What's the best scenario for you?
I think that, like most parents, we give them their devices or whatever because it's when we want them to kind of give us our space. And so, it kind of started that way, where they were only allowed to use it and connect hotspot from my phone when we were traveling, because that made things easier on me on long trips and such. But I think if, my biggest regret is giving them more than that, because now I feel like it's not really fair to take it away because they haven't done anything wrong. And so, like I said, they're just at that age where you're trying to build a relationship, and that's kind of like the same thing as being an Indian giver.
Yeah.
You allow them to do something, and then for no reason at all take it away just because I'm not comfortable with it. I realize I have the option to do that as their parent, but just trying to build that relationship with them and be fair, and think about how they're going to choose to make decisions when they get older.
And do you have conversations with your kids about things like that? How do they respond to those conversations?
Yeah, we do, and they do understand. They do understand, and often because they're always trying to push the limits, our internet router only allows the phones to connect to the Wi-Fi at home between certain hours, so I have that restricted to 3 hours a day. And they're always asking if I can keep it on a little later into the night, and sometimes I get attitude and stuff, and I just tell them that it's my job as a parent to to teach them responsibility and boundaries, and what's excessive and self-control, and anyway, so
things that can be difficult for children to understand, but that very well, is the right thing to do.
Well, and all their friends have them, and so I'm just, not cool, and which is fine. It's just, I just feel like they just have an incredible power of making me feel like they're just going without so much, because they don't have a phone.
And what kind of things work well? Like when are they not on social media that seems like they're pretty happy still? Is there anything else, any activities? You guys maybe watch Netflix together, even some interactions together you guys might have?
No, we don't watch TV, but we do go biking a lot and hiking, and we have property and we have livestock, so we spend a lot of time outside.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, so their phones only turn onto the internet from 7 to 9 at night when it's typically dark, and we would be inside anyways, so.
Nice, so at least they have a pretty strict
Yeah, they don't take it to school
time,
or
but
anything like that.
yeah, but that maybe is a little upsetting for them, so they might take that out on you a little bit.
Well, they just want more is the problem, and I just feel like a loser as a parent. Like, it'd just be easier just to give them what they want, even though I'm not considering doing that.
Well, you're definitely not a loser as a parent. You're a good parent. Don't let that make you feel that way. Kids have their own, way of dealing with things, and social media is such a big influence on them. But you are still their parent, and that's good that you're doing what's right. It's unfortunate that it does cause that type of conflict. So what are some things that you think would be a good way of maybe finding a middle ground with them? Do you have any ideas of something that would maybe be like an activity you do? Maybe watch a movie at nighttime at those times? What are any things that you feel like would be a good activity maybe?
Well, as of right now, like, as far as any kind of a punishment goes, that's the first thing I can take away, which that's kind of nice because I didn't really have anything before because they already have their chores and I couldn't really think of anything else that they would do for a punishment. But as far as like a replacement of that, we're pretty open with each other. So I just, when I ask them just to put it down, or if I tell them, hey, we're going to go to the movie tonight, they realize that they're not going to have internet at all because by the time we get home, it'll be after 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't really feel like I'm going to consider changing anything. I think I'm just having a harder time just with the distraction and the influence I feel like it's having on them. And so I think as far as solutions, it would be just to keep having those uncomfortable, hard conversations when I hear language or songs or verbiage that I don't agree with, that I know that they're being influenced by.
Yeah, and that's good to have those conversations because you are their mother and you do get to make those decisions even if they don't necessarily agree with that. Yeah, but I can totally understand why you
Do you have
don't.
children?
I do not have children, but I can definitely see the social media influence among adults and children.
Well, and then like setting the example,
Yes.
like me as well, not texting while I'm driving, and
Yes.
me as well, not always having my phone attached to me and letting it sit on the counter all day and having it ring and me not answer it, and just showing them that just because it's there doesn't mean that it's in control of me. So
Yes, it sounds like social media kind of makes you feel like maybe a disconnect. It's like a disconnection with your family, and I can see the influence portion for sure. You don't want those unfiltered influences getting in your lives. Does that sound?
it's kind of like like a distraction, but I just feel like it's so different from anything I can relate to because there wasn't cell phones, and even when there was, I didn't take pictures and there was no internet on them. So just trying to relate to them, but also self-educate because it's not something that I actually have experience during my childhood with. So understanding the pressures and the way that affects their overall life, fitting in and body image and labels and clothing and
social media can definitely have an impact on that. And do you have those conversations with them about why it's so important to you?
I just remind them to own who they are, be who they are.
All right, well, I hope that this was helpful to you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.